Okay, so we are discussing force and motion, pushes and pulls. We were talking about friction. We said friction is going to slow you down. Okay? So how many of you have ever been roller skating? You've been roller skating before, or rollerblading, skateboarding, maybe some type of skateboarding? Or maybe you have a hoverboard?
I do.
Okay? So if I try to hoverboard on this classroom floor,
Or grass.
what's going to happen if I try to then take my hoverboard or roller skates out in the grass?
It's going to go a lot more smoother.
Friction of the grass is going to what?
It's not going to
Slow you down. Okay? So friction means a force that slows you down. Can you think of another example of friction? Bryson?
What? Going up a hill on something?
Going up a hill in something, it would slow you down. Good. What about just like a rug? If you have carpet at your house, you try to slide across like a wood floor, and then you try to do that same slide across your puffy carpet. Are you going to slide the same way?
You're going to burn yourself.
You're going to burn yourself. Yeah, you're going to get rug burn. And it's not gonna. You're not gonna really even go anywhere probably. But if you tried to slide across your wood floor or tile floor, you might have a little bit more luck actually sliding. Okay. All right. Let's talk about motion. Did y'all have something you wanted to add, Angeline, Savannah?
It's like when you're trying to go one way, it makes force going back.
Going backwards, is that what you said? Motion or friction? Friction. Okay, yeah, it's a force that's going against you. That's a good way to say it. It's keeping you back, holding you back. Javea? A bumpy hill. Good. Okay? Maybe you have a bumpy road, and then you go and you have a smooth sidewalk. So the smooth sidewalk doesn't have very much friction, but the bumpy road, you can't go as fast, okay, because there's friction. Okay, so let's look at the next word on our foldable. Well, we kind of went out of order. We talked about friction first, but motion. How can you put something in motion? Bryson?
By moving.
By moving it, but how do we move something?
With your strength.
With your strength. Okay, how would I move a chair? Motion is moving something from one place to another place. But how do I do that? I have to use force, right? What are the two types of force? We can either push it or pull it. Good. So if I want to put something in motion, I would either have to push it or pull it. Good.
Or lift.
Or lift it. Good, but that's if you're lifting, is that a pull or a push?
It's a push up. You can push it up.
You can push it up, okay? Or you can pull it up, okay? The next one is gravity, which we're not going to go into great detail about gravity today. We're going to talk more about gravity tomorrow. But gravity is a force that pulls you back down towards the center of the earth. Okay, so if I were to drop a ball right now, if I were to hold a ball in my hand and then drop it, what makes it fall straight to the ground?
Gravity.
Gravity. Okay?
We're little magnets.
We're little magnets. Okay, gravity, the center of the earth is like a giant magnet. That's what pulls us to the center of the earth.
We're metal.
Very good, Gregory. Okay, so we'll talk more about gravity tomorrow. Gravity is actually what keeps all of our planets in orbit. Yep, in orbit around the sun. Okay, then we have a push and a pull, which we talked about last week. Remember, we sorted things into push category or the pull category. Who can give me an example of something we can push? Gregory?
A desk.
A desk. Okay, Evangeline?
You can push a chair.
You can push a chair. Good. You can push a door.
Wait.
We can push a button, right?
Push a car.
Push a car.
A little one.
We probably wouldn't push a car. We would probably call it tow truck if we really need help. A pool. What are examples of pools?
You can
Evangeline?
Wagon.
Pull a wagon. Good. Gregory?
you can pull like a rope if it was connected to something.
Pull a rope. Good. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to take this foldable, we're going to put it in our science notebook. So I'm going to pause the video right now because you guys at home don't need to do this part. We'll unpause the video when we've glued this in, and then we're going to go on to the next step, which is doing examples of each of these that we just discussed. Okay, while we're finishing up gluing in our notebook entry, we're going to watch a brain pop video again over force and motion, friction, pushes and pulls. As you're watching, I want you to really pay attention to the examples they give for each of these, because what we're going to do now is draw an example of friction. Draw a picture, an example of a push, a pull, motion. How do we put things in motion? What does it mean to be in motion? And then force. Force is a push or a pull that makes something move or be put into motion. So I could do push. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. And then pull is going the opposite direction. So pushes and pulls are examples of force. So your picture could just be symbols, pushes and pulls. If the arrow's going the opposite way, that tells me it is going to be a pull. If it's going forward, the arrow's pointing forward, that means it's a push. Notice I also labeled my drawing. I didn't just assume that the teacher's going to know what my picture is, so make sure you label your picture. Okay, now the only one they may not discuss in the video is gravity. So let's give another example of gravity. We said if I throw a ball up in the air, it comes right back down because why? Gravity. If I accidentally bump into a cup of pencils, what's going to happen to the cup of pencils?
They're gonna not tip. Well, they can tip.
It's going to fall over because of what? Gravity. Okay. Why are we not floating up into space right now?
Gravity.
Because of
It
gravity.
won't stop, it would be
Why are the
free.
planets orbiting around the sun?
Because gravity.
Gravity. Okay, good. So there's some examples of gravity that you could draw, and like I said, we'll discuss gravity more tomorrow. Okay. Here's your video. Keep paying attention so you can draw pictures.
Where?
Ready to play baseball? Hey, what is position? Position is the location of an object. I'm on top of the pitcher's mound. You're next to home plate. What is motion? Motion is a change in position. When I throw the ball, I put it in motion, and its position changes. Nice hit, Moby. As you run around the bases, your position changes. You're in motion. When something travels or turns around, it's in motion. Things are in motion when they move back and forth. Side to side. And up and down. Things can also move diagonally. A roller coaster can twist and turn in different ways, or move in loops or circles. Speed describes how fast something moves. Some things move fast and can go really far in just a short amount of time. Other things move a lot slower. What are pushes and pulls? A force is a push or pull that can change the way something moves. A push or pull can change an object's position or put it in motion. You can push to open doors or pull to close them. You can push a cart across the floor or pull a wagon behind you. You can even pull to pick things up. When you throw a ball, you pull your hand back and then push the ball to put it in motion. Heavy things need more force to put them in motion. A bowling ball is pretty heavy. You need to use a lot of force to put it in motion. It's a lot easier to move lighter things. What is friction? Friction is a force that slows down moving things. When you ride a skateboard, you drag your foot on the ground to slow down. You use friction. It's pretty easy to skate on a smooth street. But it's really hard to skate on grass. You might stumble or trip. The grass is thick and bumpy. Friction between the wheels and the grass makes it hard to skate. Since there's less friction between the wheels and the smooth street, it's a lot easier to skate, and you can go a lot faster. Friction is a force that pushes against an object to slow its motion. When you run and slide into home base, your body moves forward, but friction pushes in the opposite direction to slow you down. Great job, Moby, but you didn't tag home base.
Okay, so your assignment now is to take these words that we've been discussing and draw a picture out to the side in your science notebook. Okay? Make sure you label your picture. Make sure it's just within this area. You may need to draw your lines to actually show me that it is for motion or friction. Okay? Are there any questions before you start? Now you're drawing a picture of an example of each of these. Okay? Sounds good? All right.
Do we have to use crayons?
Yes, please use a little bit of color too. You're going to color it nice and neat.